So I have a song for you today that comes from a set of tropical islands that make up a nation. It's from across the Pacific Ocean, known for its white sandy beaches. And no, I'm not talking about Hawaii, that's in the United States. Known for its amazing food, but perhaps even more so, known for its lovable people. It's the Philippines. The Philippines are what we call an archipelago, which is a nation of a bunch of different islands. There are 7,107 islands at high tide, meaning that's when the water is up high. There are over 7,500 islands when it's at low tide. So you can imagine, with that many islands, there's a wide spread of cultural diversity. The people down in Mindanao are very different than the people up in Luzon. It's kind of like us in the United States. Us in California are very different than our brothers and sisters in South Carolina across the nation. But there are things that tie these islands together. Some of it is dances, some of it is food, and boy, is there a lot of great food in the Philippines. But another is song. And today I'm going to teach you a Philippine folk song. Do you care to join me? Hi, Mr. Seligman here, and welcome to the Music Room. Bahay Kubo, kahit munti, ang halaman doon ay sari-sari, Singkamas at talong, Sigariliyas at mani, Si-taw, ba-taw, patani. So Bahay Kubo is a unique kind of house. In the Philippines, it rains a lot, which means it also floods a lot in the Philippines as well. Back in the day, before modern drainage existed, if your house is on the ground floor and flooded, that means a flood would come into your house. And my house is flooded before. Twice. It's not fun. So the Filipinos made these nipa huts, or Bahay Kubo. This is where the house was raised by kind of like stilts, so that the water would flow underneath the house, and the house would be protected. This was especially important in the farmlands. So the cool thing, even though there's modern drainage today, there are newer versions of the Bahay Kubo in the cities of the Philippines. This is a picture of a traditional Bahay Kubo. You can see it's raised by stilts, and actually you can still find these in the farmlands of the Philippines today. Here's a more modernized version of the Bahay Kubo. It's called the Bahay na bataw. Even though the house is made of stone and more resistant to water, you can see that the main part of the house is still raised above the floor portion. That's an awesome thing about humans. We take something that's functional, and then we try to make it newer so that it fits the aesthetic of today. Once again. Bahay Kubo, kahit munti, ang halaman doon ay sari-sari, Singkamas at talong, Sigariliyas at mani, Si-taw, ba-taw, patani. So you know what the first two words of the song are. Bahay Kubo, or the nipa hut. The rest of the things are things you'll find around the Bahay Kubo. And remember, the Bahay Kubo started around the farmlands. So I'm going to speak the words first, and I want you to speak after me so you can get used to the dialect of Tagalog, which is one of the many dialects of the Philippines. And then I'm going to say the translation afterwards. Bahay Kubo. Again. Bahay Kubo. Cool, and that means the nipa hut. Kahit, munti. Again, kahit, munti. Even though it's really small. That's the translation. Ang halaman doon. Ang halaman doon. The plants that are all around. Ay sari-sari. Ay sari-sari. They're very varied. Singkamas at talong. Singkamas at talong, the turnip and the eggplant. Sigariliyas at mani. Sigariliyas at mani. The winged bean and the peanut. Si-taw. Si-taw. The string bean. Bataw. Bataw. The hyacinth bean. Patani. Patani. The lima bean. Now that's a lot of new words for many of you. I usually break the song line by line, but today I'm just going to sing the whole first verse once again. If you caught on with the melody and want to try to sew it all together, you can sing along with me. If you are still getting the words together in your head, you can chant along with me, whichever works. Bahay Kubo, kahit, munti, ang halaman doon ay sari-sari. Singkamas at talong, Sigariliyas at mani. Si-taw, ba-taw, patani. Well, I'm glad that I could share a bit of my culture with you, being half Filipino myself. As I mentioned, this is a folk song, so this is a song that my mother sang, and also a song that her mother sang, and so forth and so forth. That's the best part about folk songs. Now, I want to hear from you. What culture do you come from? Or what kind of songs were sung to you growing up that were unique to that culture? Maybe it's a Mexican folk song. Maybe it's a Korean folk song. Maybe it's a folk song from the United States. So what I want you to do, we now have a Flipgrid set up. And a Flipgrid is kind of like TikTok, except it's not public. It's only viewable for those who are part of the community, like you. I'll be posting challenges every week in there. So my challenge to you is go record yourself and let me know what kind of folk songs were sung to you growing up. And if you're so audacious, go sing a little bit of it. Now, if you're feeling a little shy, I totally get that. So you can also send it to me in the email listed below, jonathan.seligman@cvest.org. Or if you're one of my current students, you can also send it to me through Teams. Well, I had fun, and I hope you did too. But until next time, I hope you explore, you experiment, and go learn something about your own culture. Take care, guys.